I came to a point of life where there's nothing to lose for me. I went into the pit of the ocean, depth, and then it gave me the courage. See, God doesn't test us. He always prepares us. I suffered a lot as a child. I underwent depression. I went for a suicide attempt. When I was 13-year-old, I realized that I'm not alone. When I use my mind, He's thinking. When I use my body, He's feeling. When I use my mouth, He's talking.
I've just met a businesswoman. I've met a visionary. I've met a mother, a wife, a grandmother. I've met a woman who was rooted, and I've met a woman who was real.
Happiness matters, not from outside, from inside. Enjoying every moment. So the more happier you are, the more happiness will come to you.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Greatness Unleashed podcast. We have a phenomenal woman on today. I want to introduce to you all Dr. Sumathi Chandrasekaran, who is on today to share her journey with us and how she's walked into this new this version of her that has been able to be birthed into this earth for a time such as this. And so I want to introduce you to this beautiful woman. And actually, she can do a better job of introducing herself. So I'm going to ask Dr. Sumathi, if you don't mind, I'll call you Sumathi. Dr. Sumathi in this recording to just introduce yourself and tell us more about you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Sika, for taking so much of effort for, first of all, being here. Thank you for this great opportunity. And it's a great blessing for me to be here to share my, it's a kind of vision for India. So in that way, I'm so grateful to you. Thank you. So about myself, I am from Chennai, that is from India, South India. And for the past 22 years, I'm in the field of psychology, where I've been practicing as a counseling psychologist and a psychotherapist. And recently I've shifted my from treating illness to wellness, that is as an online coach. So as a happiness mind coach, I've shifted into happy woman mind coaching. And then recently I have ventured into a new startup company, Mind Café. It's a dream of 7 years that I'm holding on. This seed was very long back, but today, recently, last week, it came into reality. So this is the vision that I'm holding for India, because I know how much of suffering it is for a women, especially, to bottle her emotions, and because I've underwent this, which I maybe sharing later, and there was no space to share. And this space, what I've created here today in my life is only a dedication to that women, for women who are really, internally, silently suffering, or maybe trying to, bring the potential, or they would want to be the best version. That is what I would like to dedicate. So apart from that, my family, maybe my husband, I have a daughter who is in Dubai. She has 2 children, and my son is with me. He is working, and my daughter-in-law is working. And we have one kid, again, another daughter-in-law. So I have 3 grandchildren. I'm blessed with 3 grandchildren. And my husband and myself, we have ventured into the startup.
Wow. Thank you so much. That was such a beautiful, just describing of who you are, because it showed how dynamic you are. I think that I've just met a businesswoman. I've met a visionary. I've met a mother, a wife, a grandmother. I've met a woman who was rooted, and I've met a woman who was real. And so thank you for introducing yourself in such a way that women can see the human behind the vision.
Yes.
Yeah. And so I wanted to jump right in, because what you've birthed into this earth, and just congratulations again to birthing the Mindful Cafe into India, the vision, the innovation behind it. I just want to say congratulations again, but I also want to ask you, with this being a new venture, with this being something that you've carried for 7 years, as you just stated, 7 years, what were some of the things that you had to overcome to have the actual courage to bring it forth?
Yeah, thank you for the question. I would say the very thought, the seed, this idea which came up was something which is disruptive, because it was not something, very familiar for the country. So when I took it up and I wanted to make it a reality, there were a lot of rejection because I was not an entrepreneur. I was a professional. So as you said rightly, the courage is what is very important here, because courage is all about ready to face the consequences of what we choose. So I decided I want to go ahead. When I started off, there was no financial support. So what I did was I started with the support of my NGO. I run an NGO called Yuvathi. It's about women, a platform for women. So I thought maybe NGO would support me. But unfortunately, what happened within 6 months, it didn't work out. I closed it. The reason was no promotion, no marketing, no positioning, no branding. I realized that any product has to be branded or we have to market. Then only I realized it. So what I did was, with my team, I went into collaboration with the specialty hospitals where they give a MOU. We have a MOU, but same appointment and counseling. See, it was not my vision. It was the very purpose of me to go for Mind Cafes. No appointments, no counseling. Yes. It's a different concept, but I had to compromise. So I went for the same name, Mind Cafe. We had a collaboration with hospitals and the same space and appointments only. We have to book an appointment and then only they can meet. So this was not resolved. The problem was not resolved. The problem of people who want to step in, who want to vent out immediately, who are really undergoing, emotionally. So somewhere, as you told rightly, I don't know how to go about, because the finance was the problem. But I was holding that thought, I was holding the vision within me every day and night. I would tell myself, this is not my mission. This is the divine mission. I told myself, Jesus is my personal God. So I tell Jesus, okay, you gave me this thought. So let this happen. So what happened was, beautifully it happened. You won't believe me. I was in a clinic setting where I was treating my clients. What happened was, I started to really feel a shift. Like I moved from treating illness to treating wellness. And that is where God prepared me. See, God doesn't test us. He doesn't test us. He always prepares us. So I had lot of testing times. And I knew that these testing times are my preparation for something big. I knew very well. So I told myself, I surrendered. I told I'm prepared. So I underwent a lot of issues in my life, personally, professionally. But it took me, professionally, I was very, in the sense, more successful, because I'm a person who is very steadfast, who is very determined. I do anything with dedication. I do very sincerely. I never give up till I get what I want. That kind of personality. But in relationship, I'm not a very strong person. So I really flopped in relationship. I had to balance both. It was very difficult. But then what happened was, he prepared me, I told you. So I went into online coaching. I learned many things. I learned marketing, I learned promotion, branding, everything. Right from Canva editing, how to prepare a reel. And I loved it. Then I realized, okay, why did I jump into this? So he made me to understand that these are essentials of becoming a business woman or entrepreneur. So now I'm able to, sitting in this like an entrepreneur, what I'm doing is, I know very well now the importance of everything since I've undergone this. So that is how he prepared me. And I've become so strong. I mean again, this again. I went into a kind of a situation where my close relationship, my family members, I had a lot of pain points, and a state came where there's nothing to lose for me. I went into a state where I felt very painful with my close family members. And then I told God, there's nothing to lose. Then what else? Let me start Mind Cafe. Whether it's a failure or success, doesn't matter for me, because I've lost everything. In the sense, what to say, I came to a point of life where where there's nothing to lose, then why you have to fear? When you're holding to something, only have fear. I was holding to my relationships. I was so attached to my children. I was so attached to my husband. I was very attached. I'm a family person. But God made me go through so much that I came to stage that there's nothing to lose, no? I went into the pit of the ocean, depth. And then it gave me the courage. It told me, okay, nothing to lose. Then let me go. Wait. That is why I got courage.
Oh, I absolutely love that story because it's so real. I hear you bearing your cross, right? It's like dying to yourself, like shedding off all these things that you were holding on to become the woman that God was creating. And sometimes that looks like a demolition of what was so stable or the structure of who we are. It's like he takes that apart and he rebuilds it into the form that he created, right, in this earth. And so I think it's so beautiful that you share with the women that sometimes your courage comes from the preparation process, which looks like testing, and it doesn't necessarily feel good.
Yeah.
But at the end, there is a beautiful thing birthed, and that's the woman that was courageous enough to step into being an entrepreneur, going against the grain, and even letting go of what meant most to her, which was her family, but knowing God will return it, right? He was returning it anyway. It was like God is it's still he's taking care of that thing, even with us when we're going through these things. And so thank you for sharing that. Thank you for sharing that because if you heard her correctly, it's so many learning points in that we can take, nuggets that we can take as we go through our journey of becoming the women that God has created us to become. And one more thing I want to point out, Sumathi, because I think that when God gives us a vision, there's so many other influences that can come in there and start to reshape the vision. Then we're putting something out, but it wasn't what God intended. So then we have to go back to the drawing board. Like you said, you started to partner with the hospitals, but it was still that barrier. And you doing the vision that God has given you removes the barriers. So no more, that story of Ishmael and Isaac with Abraham. So Abraham and Sarah, they were supposed to have a child together, but then he had a baby with Hagar. Hagar was not the woman who God said will produce the seed of promise, which was Isaac. So when Ishmael was born, God said, "No, you have a son that I'm giving you between you and Sarah." And so Isaac was the son that God promised. Ishmael was a son that Abraham and Sarah decided to create on their own because God's will was to give Sarah the baby within her womb. But she told him to go and get another wife. Like, go ahead, just get another woman to have the baby Ishmael. And so an Ishmael was produced. And so sometimes in the vision that God gives us, in our effort to make it work, we ourselves produce Ishmaels when God is trying to give us a Isaac, was the exact thing that he promised us. And so I see your Isaac living. The attention of God from the very beginning being the way he wanted you to put it into this earth. And so amazing. So with that being said, I think you tapped into something that we need to talk about. The process of being prepared. What allowed for you to stay faithful to God? Although this was a 7-year vision, although you saw your family, you having, close relationships break down, what kept you steadfast in your relationship with God to see this come to fruition?
Sika, you said what made me, or what was that gave me that faith you're telling? What
Yes. What
Yeah.
kept you going and
See,
all?
yeah, it's a very a deep question. Thank you so much. Because I think God, I think, always wants us to be our best version, to evolve us. That is what his vision is all about. So when I told, I think I always have a conversation. So in my life, I suffered a lot as a child. I underwent depression. I went for a suicide attempt when I was 13-year-old. I want to die because I always long for love. I was searching love outside in the wrong place. And then what happened? I tried to suicide, and but I didn't. It didn't work out. So when then again I went to school, I went to college, and then I got married. Again, my brother passed away. That was the crux. That was a time when I completely shattered, because he was the one person I was so close to him, my own brother. So I cannot accept it. So that was something. That was a time when I went to God. I told, why for me? So that question started. That purpose. That was a journey started there. Why am I here in this earth? So I think that purpose, search of purpose. I think everyone has to ask this question. Why am I here? So I asked this question. And I didn't speak to God for 1 month. I told Jesus, I will not talk to you. But I couldn't. So then I started. And then then only I told myself at the age of 30, when I was 30 years, I told myself, I want to help the women like this who are suffering silently. And that is what made me to step into study psychology. So I studied psychology after 30 years only. I did BSc chemistry initially, starting in my college days. So why I'm saying this all is I can feel that how God was traveling with me. The only one person was always with me 24/7. I could have that relationship, because as I told you, in college, I had a chapel there. So I used to go there and pray. So that kind of a relationship was there. So I think I built a relationship, and I'm an avid learner. I used to keep on learning. And since my brother passed away, I went into spirituality. I went into quantum physics. So this quantum physics, which was more into scientific, orientation, where uh, gave me a kind of what to say assurance, because I'm a logic person. I want evidence for everything. I'm a very scientific person. So this my exploration, my journey coincided, because the science and spirituality are both the same, and that assurance. So I was searching myself when I found that the divine within me, the God within me. So there was a relationship that built more stronger because of this girl who wanted scientific evidence. And when I came to realize that quantum physics is the one way to realize that God is always within us and we are part of universe. So that made me more stronger. And I realized that I'm not alone. I'm breathing through, He's breathing through me. God is breathing through me. God is thinking through me. When I use my mind, He's thinking. When I use my body, He's feeling. When I use my mouth, He's talking. That is how I started to realize His, realize His very essence of this universe.
Oh my goodness. I can talk to you forever. Literally, I can talk to you forever because the thing that you've experienced, the acknowledgement and the experience of walking with God through life, many have not yet grasped that possibility. Nor have they experienced it, because there is this thing where religion steps in versus relationship. And so when you get into a relationship with God, the one and only true God, and He is who you walk with, who you commune with, who you fellowship with, who you have a relationship with, things that seem impossible become possible because you know that He's doing it through you. And so, yes, right. It's like, well, I'm not even doing this, Lord. I know that you're doing it through me. And so, how do you want to get it done? What is your vision? He puts it in our mind, and then He uses us to execute it. We're like His hands and feet in the earth. And if we can see ourselves as extensions of God's plan, His divine plan in this earth, where He says, I'm going to use you for this, I'm going to use you for that. And we begin to see ourselves as part of His intricate dance, song and dance in the earth, to bring forth the change that He wants to see, to save souls, to bring forth what is needed. from each of us, we can then walk upright and understanding that there is nothing that will stop us.
And see, I think also, see, Kam, I think in this world, in this universe, it's very important because this world is very unpredictable and we all know challenges. So, in this world, I think it's very important for every human being to believe in something higher power. You have to, because it is so, fragile. People are human are fragile where they're getting disturbed easily. The nervous system is the problem. I won't say humans are problem. That is another story which I realized that instead of blaming myself, I knew that it was my vagus nerve where I have to strengthen the nervous system. If you do that, then you can be undisturbed. You can be stable. Whatever happens outside. And that is where you're able to maintain your peace. So I think every human has to rely on something bigger than you. Only then you can feel secure. Or else you can never feel secure. Or else you try to attach to people around you and you try to attach to money or you try to attach to popularity or fame or love, whatever, for you to feel safe. But I think this one relationship with the universe or the divine will help us to feel grounded and feel safe. That's what I realized.
Yes. Yes. That reminds me of Psalms 91, where he hides us under his wings, where he protects us, where he keeps us, he covers us. And in that place, we get to dwell with him. And so, what you're saying is that when we don't have that relationship, so many other things begin to move us. Our nervous system gets out. We don't feel safe. That's that fight or flight, right? We've talked about that vagus nerve, that fight or flight that's just in high overdrive because it feels like everything is falling, everything is sinking. You have nothing to hold on to. But when you have God, he's unmovable, he's unshakable, right? And so we get to walk into this new version of ourselves. I want to go into the Mindful Cafe. It's the Mind Cafe, yes.
Mind Café.
Mind Cafe. Can you tell me, when you first came up with this idea, and I know you said it was 7 years ago, until now, how have you seen things come together for you? I know finances were an issue, but it seems you had to have made it over that hump because that's a lot of women's issues with starting businesses, the finance, right? And so I want to talk about some real things that we can really hold on to when finances are an issue and how we can move strategically to be able to build the things that we've been given to build.
See, actually, as you told rightly, when I was approaching many of business people, I came across at least 7 to 8 of them. And the budget was about 40 lakhs. I mean, in maybe in I don't know, in a million, I don't know how to say it. Maybe not less than 1 crore. They used to say this would be the budget for opening. But I knew that, oh, it's too high, I cannot. But then I realized, okay, let me go ahead with a small budget first. Then let me expand. So I came across these funds, government grants. So I took a step immediately. So I applied for it. I joined a company and they supported me to, because I didn't know anything. I'll tell you, literally, I didn't know anything how to procure the grant from the government or investor. I told myself I'll jump into it. Let me see. So I went into the company, just they guided me through. And instead of an investor, right now I'm more into my personal money. I put my savings amount, and my husband supported me. The grant I'm waiting for, we have applied for many grants. Okay, it is on the way, most probably. So that is how it was the support I got. So I think my husband's support. He loves me so much, and I love him so much. And without him, it's not possible. I cannot do it alone. I know very well. So he was the one financially supported me, and mentally also, and physically. Lot of things, many things. So I think that way it became a reality.
Oh, that's beautiful. Yeah.
I think any women, I don't think doing it, I won't say cannot do it, it's possible. But as a single person, building an empire is not possible. I think it's important having a people support. It is very important. So in that way, I have a lot of. In fact, I had support from my NGO, my Yuvathi. We had team. We have committee members. They all were very supportive, and of course, I have my interns. So there were a lot of support from me. Everything happened rightly.
I think what it reminds me of, I always like to think about business, anything that you birth into this earth as a baby, right? And how it says it takes a village. It takes a village to raise a child. It takes a village to support you in raising this business. And so, ladies, if you didn't hear anything at all, it takes a village. So don't try to be the lone wolf. Don't try to be on your own island and be in a place where you're keeping quiet and you want to keep it so close to you that you're not able to receive the support you're needing in the time. And even with your husband and you starting together, you started somewhere. You said, I decided to do a smaller budget. If your vision is so big that it's going to require a huge budget, sometimes we miss the fact that what we have starts as a small seed and then it sprouts into that greater vision. So start with what you have. Begin to water it with your faith that it will grow. Like you said, oh, the grant is coming, right? So, but
Keeping my fingers crossed. Keeping my fingers crossed.
So, but you watered that. Is that you watered it with your faith? You planted the seed of your own finances. Your husband said, I'm backing you up. And you're watering that seed to continue to grow into a mighty tree that can shade a lot of people, all the people that you will help with your faith. That say, I know it's going to be bigger. I know it's coming.
Till now, you won't believe me. My family members are the first people, tell me, oh my God, how are you going to manage? How are you going to, they keep on threatening me like, and I will say, I'll be very cool. I'll tell, it's okay. All my relatives, who come, they came for the opening and they're telling me, oh my God, how are you going to run it? How are you going to manage? You need so much of money more. Every month you have to expend, for the salary and everything, investment, the AC, the air conditioner, lot of electricity bill, everything. But I've started in my own place. There is an advantage. I have my own space. I live in independent house. My house is in first floor. So I started in second floor. I have some 700 square feet. So I thought I'll play it safe first and then I'll expand it. So in that way, still people are telling me, that's it, over. No, this will never work for you. They are discouraging me. I know very well. And my team, my colleagues, they encourage me. But my family, I think it's common, I think so.
It is.
Yeah, family members, they are very concerned about us. So they are the one who will keep on warning us.
Like, what are you doing? Yeah, that is so true. And like you said, it's the concern and them not wanting. And sometimes, I feel like that happens because the vision was given to you, the burden was given to you. And when you succeed, then their visions begin to grow for themselves, right? And so you're being an inspiration out and being able to push past those thoughts other people might have, the fears that they might have, not becoming a fear that's deposited within your heart. That's where we got to guard our heart, right? Because we don't want those things to be deposited into us. So I think that was amazing because you're going to get discouraged along the way of walking into greatness, and greatness being anything that you've been created in this earth to do. God has said, this is why I created you. This is your purpose. This is your calling. This is what I want you to do. That's greatness to me. So God created a woman to be a stay-at-home mom and raise up children that will go out and be world changers. Then that's her greatness, right? And she's doing it with all that God has given her. But God has called you to raise up a business to begin to help women in their mental state. And so could you tell me more so why Mind Cafe is so important to you in your mission? Tell me the mission and the vision behind it all.
Yeah, definitely. So, the vision that we have is for India, I told you, to be a platform of mental wellness, India to be the leading country. That is my vision. The mission here is creating Mind Cafe all over India so that people can get access to professional help immediately in affordability also. Because if you go to a therapy, psychotherapy, or even counseling is very costly. It is quite costly, and people are not willing to pay people. And here, Mind Cafe is a junction between psychologist and psychiatrist, because some people don't want to go to medicine, they don't want to take medicine, and sometimes people go directly to the to the psychiatrist, which is unnecessary,
Mhm.
not necessary. They do. Today also I had a client and she was telling she was taking for 2 years medicine for sleep. She just came for third session, I think. She stopped the medicine. She told, ma'am, I'm totally from medicine now. I'm not putting any tablet for sleep. I'm sleeping very well. The reason was it's more about self-belief. It is more about self-identity. It is an identity. So here in Mind Cafe, we give them a shift to the new identity. That is what happens. So I think in that way, I think the mission is about, because that is what happened in my life. I shifted my identity only. I didn't go into wanting or trying to chase something. I told myself, God, I want to become this identity. I want to become a social reformer. I want to be a social entrepreneur. This is what I told God. I didn't go and tell him, ask him anything like, I want that, I want this. No. So I realized that if I shift my who I am, naturally I will attract them. So that is what I do in Mind Cafe. I train my counselors and give them a protocol where two things happen. One is they must go out the first session realizing that I am the owner of my own emotions. I am responsible. No one is responsible. I am the ownership, like, of my own life. That is the realization. Second is no blaming. No blaming myself, no blaming others. So this is my mission. I want every Indian, maybe at the end of 10 years at least, I want every human to realize the truth that it is only me that I'm co-creating my life with God. That is what I want to happen.
Wow. Um, wow. I just want to take a moment for whoever's listening, man or woman, right now, to just think about that. As you let that soak in, that you are co-creating this life with God and you're responsible for your own emotions and your own actions. What are you willing to do for you? I think that was so powerful. And the mission of identity is so huge for a time such as this, because I believe that this world is in an identity crisis. And if God has sent forth his children to begin to change the narrative revolving identity confusion, wow, you are a mighty vessel for his use. And you said in 10 years, the world.
Yes.
That's a God thing. That's not a Dr. Sumathi thing. That is a God thing.
I told you already. That's what I told, no? But the moment we surrender, I think it's divine's will.
Amen. Yes, definitely, definitely, definitely. From the moment we met, just a little background. From the moment we connected via LinkedIn, and we just kind of like we had we had a great conversation. It was like I have to know you even more. Like, just even from that moment, I could see the passion, the drive, the fire in you, for what you were created to do. hands down, right? And as I talked to you a little bit before we got started, is that your stature is so large. Your spiritual stature is that of a giant, that of one who was called to walk in greatness. And so your vision being 10 years out, being a global influencer, not just in India, but global. I think that it's befitting of who God has created you to be, right? And so when you said that, it wasn't like 10 years, you're going to, no, it was like, oh, yes, definitely. And I think being able to say that boldly the way you did comes from an identity that you understand of yourself. And so I say all that to say is that your identity is so important. It's important. How you view yourself, ladies, is so important for you to walk inside levels of greatness, because you can't make those bold statements if you don't believe it.
Yes.
Yeah.
True.
Yes.
I think women in India specifically, they lose their identity after marriage, you know. So, and I think I was one of them. And, but somehow this crisis, my brother passed away. That shook me, actually. It just put me into kind of a state where I went inside. So I think that is where I am today. So I'm thankful to my brother. Some soul come for some reason. So I believe that he has sacrificed his life for me to be here. And I think it was always a journey, I would say, for the past how many years? Maybe 27 years. I think it's a journey. Like, no, I don't think anything happens like this. It's always a journey. It's a process. And let me enjoy it. That's it.
I love that. All right,
And yeah, that's what I feel. So, but one thing, Sika, I was a person very impulsive. I used to be very tantrum. I want to be a instant gratification, a girl, when I was growing up. I want everything to happen at once. But today I'm just wondering, how could I'm holding on the dream for 7 years? That, that inner child is possible. So nothing is permanent. Like what I'm saying is like, you are nothing. I cannot put myself in something like this is what I am. No, I can be anything and nothing also. That is what I realized.
Oh, how powerful is that?
Today, I have so much of patience. Before, if you see, my mother would say, "Oh my God, this girl is a brat," she will say. I never listened to her. I was a very disobedient girl. I was a pakka, what to say, um, I was never give up. I never give up, but I was a very kind of, what to say, a disobedient girl. I was not a girl who was very nice girl to my mom. I get always into trouble.
Yes. Wow. Going against the grain.
So there's a lot of transformation. See, everything is, energy. So that's the energy. And so it's all about that I do. If you ask me, I would share something very important here.
Yes.
I work on myself every day. I release the energy that is coming up in my body, whatever, even a negative energy. Suppose someone says something and I feel the discomfort, immediately I will do EET. I know whether you heard of this method. And I do some hypnosis, kind of what is called deep breathing or vagus nerve. I do immediately self-healing. I ensure that I release those stuck energy in my nervous system. And I do meditation daily. So I think this is very important.
Yes. You've given us practical techniques to release and not accumulate those, which could be micro traumas, right? Because they're supposed to, it inflicts harm or wound on your own emotional state, your mental state, your nervous state, right? And so those micro traumas need to be addressed, because then they become accumulative and then they become a gaping wound. And so in becoming the woman that you're created to be, I'm hearing that you have to address those micro traumas that you might incur every single day, and also look at the deeper things, because you went back to childhood, and then acknowledge the transformation that you went through, knowing that you're continuously evolving.
Yeah.
and show yourself grace. I hear grace in that. I hear that you were once to be like disobedient and all these things. You're like, well, look at me. I like transform so much the grace to become something new. You gave up all of this is who I am, so that you can be fluid to become.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like we have to give up I'm just like this, or I'm just like that, or this is my personality. To become who we're supposed to be, we have to be more fluid.
Yes, true.
Yes, this has been so amazing. I thank you for sharing this sacred time with me. I'm just beginning to share wisdom, pour into different women that will hear this episode of the podcast. You have been a true gem to just hear speak, to encourage and to inspire. Is there anything that is coming up that you want the audience to know, or where can they reach you? Where can they follow you? Where can they learn more about what you're doing?
Yeah, sure. First of all, I would like to thank you also, Sika. It's an amazing podcast because you made me to express my thoughts. You gave me space, to voice out my power, my knowledge, everything, whatever. So for that, I would like to thank you so much. And for the audience, uh, what would I say that, I mean, you want to say something to the audience, you asked me?
Yes,
What did you
yes.
ask?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So the thing, I think happiness matters is the logo of my, Mind Cafe. It's a tagline because I was a sad child since my childhood. Always sad, 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 sad. So whatever happens in our life, there is a reason, which is to serve our purpose. That I think everyone wants to, I want to tell this because we always think when something bad happens or something which is not, don't want something to happen, we think as if it is like a victim. We feel, but I would like to say each and everyone, realize that everything happens for you to only serve your purpose. If that is the belief that you're going to hold on, definitely you'll be in the right path, becoming your best version. And happiness matters. So you know how to be happy, not from outside, from inside, enjoying every moment. Even small things you do, enjoy it. Just enjoy. Even drinking water, you know, talking to someone, enjoy and do it. So that is one way of, keeping a high vibration. So the more happier you are, the more happiness will come to you. If you're going to be sad, you'll attract more sadness. If you're going to be angry, you'll attract more anger. Because I think all of us know the algorithm of Google, how whatever we see, whatever we give attention, you get more of it. Same way, if you're going to vibrate, if you're going to feel hurt, you're going to get more hurt in your life. That's what I learned. So that is when I changed and I started to release all my negative, the unhelpful emotions in my body. And that is when my life changed. So I would say everyone to embrace all your emotions. No emotions are bad or good. Just embrace it, accept it, and then shift your level of whatever, wherever you are, into the higher state, that is gratefulness, compassionate, happiness, feeling more joyful, and that will attract abundance into your life. Definitely.
Oh, wow.
I found it out.
That was a great summary. I'm listening like, yes, 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 yes. She just wrapped up for us in a nutshell.
Happiness is our job. No, happiness is our job. No one's job.
Come on.
Now, don't give it to anyone.
So how can they reach you? How can they reach you, Dr.
Yeah. So mine is Instagram handle is Manifest is Dr. Sumathi. Manifest with Dr. Sumathi. And of course, I have a website, drsumathichandrasekaran.com. I have a website and also Facebook, LinkedIn. It is Sumathi Chandrasekaran, my name only. The Facebook also, and even LinkedIn also. LinkedIn also I'm there. And you can WhatsApp to me 988 482 6162. I'm always there for you. That is what the purpose is. So you can ping me. I'm ready to answer. I repeat it again. Maybe if you want to repeat, 988-482-6162.
All right, you got it. You guys have gotten how you can connect with Dr. Sumathi and learn more about Mind Cafe, but also just learn about what she's doing in the healing process of becoming, like you said, happiness starts within you. And so she's here. She's here for you all. I just want to thank you again for your yes. I thank you. I thank you again for your pour. I thank you for your vulnerability. I thank you for your transparency. And I thank you for your courage and your boldness. Many women will rise in their stature as women because they listen to this, because they got a chance to meet you. You will affect many.
It's a great honor, Sika. You don't know, it really means a lot when I say this to you. It is I feel so honored to be here right now sharing this for a great opportunity. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
And if the audience who's watching, if they are going to get inspired, it's because of Sika. Because if you didn't reach out to me, how would it happen? Just imagine. You reached out to me, right?
Yes.
So the credit goes to you.
Yes. We all do our part, right? And so thank you for co-laboring with me. Thank you for
I hope we meet there. Maybe physically we can meet one day.
Yes, definitely. It gotta happen. God gonna make it happen. But okay, you guys, we're gonna be tuning out for this episode of the Greatness Unleashed podcast. You have just met a great in this earth, and I want you to be great every day of your life. Remember, your happiness is within you and it matters. See y'all soon.
Thank you.